Yo guys, can I show you something? Please don't freak out. I learned how to talk using my lips. Yo, now that I got your attention, I want to talk about my YouTube problems. My channel is dying, and it's been dying ever since I posted this video last year. And what's the update on that? Well, it's still stagnant. And so, in truth, we really only have two options. We can either A, keep uploading to a declining audience until I become a meme, or B, create a YouTube exit plan. Alright, so before I go broke, here is my YouTube exit plan. I want to launch an animation IP where I can then launch stuff like figures, video games, t-shirts, you get the picture. For example, did you know that IPs like Dragon Ball, Star Wars, Marvel, Pokemon all make over $25 million a year? In fact, Pokemon alone brings over $1 billion a year. God damn. So to me, it only makes sense that we try and get a horse in this race. And thankfully, I'm not broke yet and already have a storyboard that's ready to try and make this happen. I just don't know where to start though. And so I'm gonna try and start in the most obvious place, which of course is Craigslist. And within only a couple of hours, someone sent me a resume applying for a web design position. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that you can make a fully animated movie using only HTML and CSS. Alright, so a little time has passed and I've tried Fiverr, but no one is crazy enough to take on a 90-minute animation. I've emailed several animation studios, but none of them will give me a reply. And so I've pivoted to make a 30-minute animated short to hopefully maybe get some more replies. And I'm now aiming to make an episode so good that it creates demand for more episodes. Or something like that. I don't know. But after many hours of trying to contact animation studios, I finally got a quote. Are you ready for this? I was quoted $500 US per second of animation. Let's see here. There are 1,800 seconds in half an hour. 1,800 times $500 US equals $900,000. You know what? I just have to take a peek. I just need to know. Yo, how in the hell are animations sustainable? Alright, look, I refuse to let my dreams be memes, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna shorten the time down to 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna put up an ad on one of those work for hire sites. Because the way that I understand it, if you reach out to a studio, they're gonna demand more money. Obviously, they have salaries to pay. But if you put up an ad on one of those work for hire sites that's filled with people that are hungry for work, it should be cheaper, right? Let's give it a shot. I ended up connecting with this talented artist named Shay, and she helped me out with concepting characters, environments, etc. By the way, here is the main character to my animated series. His name is Jinzo, and I made this model for a game that I made a video about. Link to that is in the description. But Shay eventually convinced me to refine the short film to be only 60 seconds. Because my initial proposal of $2,000 for a 15-minute short was incredibly unrealistic. But she can do about a 1-minute short for $800. It ended up costing $680, and this is what she made. But before we play this video is brought to you by my Patreon. Look, I won't linger on this, but if you have a couple of bucks to spare and you want to throw me a ducat or two on Patreon to keep this channel alive, I greatly appreciate it. Now, let's roll the clip. I added the sound effects for your viewing pleasure. And I never got to finish it because shortly after this, Shay completely disappeared and I never heard from her again. Alright, so it's been a few months since Shay has replied back to anything. And you know, honestly, I don't blame her. I was basically asking her to draw over 720 unique frames, all while taking requests for changes as she does it. So just doing the math really quick, that's about $1 per frame. That includes line work, coloring, and any special effects that may need to be added, and whatever else may come about. So even if she could do this in an hour, $1 an hour is still slave wages. So you see, I don't really blame her for just ghosting like that. It is a little frustrating, I won't lie, but I can't blame her. I didn't really understand what I was asking for at the beginning, and I'm sure she didn't really understand what she was getting herself into, so let's just leave it at I appreciate her work. But newsflash, bags and baguettes, this is your captain speaking. I am still not ready to give up on my YouTube exit plan, and that is why I've developed a new plan. All right, hear me out. Okay, so 2D animation is expensive, right? Right? I think we all can agree on that. And so that's why I think it's time to bring out the big guns. Say it with me now, 3D animation. This new plan is simple. Find someone who can make 3D models for a good price, show them the characters that I want them to model, and in no time, I should have a whole cast of characters ready to be animated. And I personally think this is a genius route because I've been working with 3D software for over 5 years now, and I can use the expertise that I know to bring these models to life, keeping the entire pipeline cheaper than hiring a team to make a 2D animation. But first, I commissioned a buddy of mine to turn these characters into this. My buddy's name is James Val, and he's stupid talented. I wish I can convince him to be more involved with this project, but I mean, he can't help that he's in high demand. What can you say? Anywho, I found a person on one of those work for hire sites, and he's talking big game about being able to model Jinzo. So I'm pretty excited to see what he sends over. All right, and it looks like the results are in. Let's see what is going on here. All right, look. Art is in the eye of the beholder, okay? It's just that this beholder is giving this art a hard nah, especially when he's paid almost $100 for this. Oh my gosh. Look, just do me a favor. Let's just not speak of this model ever again, okay? Okay, so now what? I really want this exit plan to work, but making an animation is proving to be really hard. Who would have guessed? I'm like seconds away of giving up and starting like a drama channel to doggone dream, you lying schmuck. But I'm just not quite ready to hang it all up yet. You know, maybe this artist was just a fluke. Maybe we need to give this just one more shot. Just bear with me, all right? Let's just try this one more time, please. I did a bit more research on the next lucky modeler, and I found that a lot of the modelers that I wanted to work with were very expensive. I'm talking north of $200 per model. Just 10 character models will cost me another $2,000. God damn. Nah, I just can't justify it. So I went with a modeler that had some good work in their portfolio, but it was the same price as the previous one. And this is what they returned. It's okay, not great, and at first I couldn't quite put my finger on why it felt so weird looking to me, but I figured it out when I asked him to make a simple change, and he said that he couldn't because of the software he was using. Wait, hold on. You made the model, so why can't you change it to look less like an e-boy? And that's when I learned that he was using 3D software called Vroid Studio, which basically just lets you pick and choose from various presets, resulting in every possible model looking like an e-boy ready to post the saddest lyrics they can find on Instagram. Okay. Look, I feel bamboozled and defeated. Why didn't anyone tell me that making animation was going to be this hard? But look, hear me out. All right, here's the thing. I've already spent about $2,000 trying to make this exit plan work, all right? I just don't know if at this point I can just throw all that away. Especially when I know that some of you guys are probably down in the comment section right now laughing at me because creating that drama channel was probably the more smarter thing to do. So to hell with those people, I'm going to do the only next logical move possible. Increase my spending budget. Now listen. It sounds silly, okay? But hear me out. I think the problem that I'm currently facing is that I'm trying to get Disney results on a South Park budget. And so let's just try this just one last time to hire more professional veteran type modelers to hopefully get something more usable. After looking into over 50 3D modeler profiles on Fiverr, I contacted a modeler who I thought had the best portfolio for what I was looking to get done. And then they shared with me the secret that I think I've been missing all my life. I need a model sheet. Wow, okay. So I just learned about these things called model sheets, in which you basically get a concept artist to draw a character in a bunch of different angles. And so when you give this model sheet to a 3D modeler, they can then use this to keep the character a lot more accurate. Sounds like a great idea to me, but that means that now we need a concept artist. So I reached out to my buddy who made this masterpiece, but he just doesn't have the time to be more involved. So, you know what must be done now? You know what must be done. Don't play dumb. I paid a bunch of concept artists on Fiverr, 5 to be specific, with varying price points, hoping to cast a wide enough net for one of these lucky bachelorettes to be my Mitch. And yeah, most of them are just too far away from what I'm looking for. But I think that this one has the best value out of them all. But it just, I don't know, feels too cartoony for me. Honestly, I'm just really frustrated. How in the hell can making animation be this hard? But guess what? This little experiment that we just did added an extra $300 to the spending budget. Are you cringing yet? Good, because I am done with this. No more falling victim to the sunken cost fallacy. I am done. I wondered if my mistake might have been me going to the artist's doorstep instead of having artists come to me. And so I decided to try and use my quickly declining internet fame and posted a tweet ad looking for concept artists. And within minutes, I was flooded with tens of artists interested in working with me. In particular, a talented artist by the name of Jabrils. And after putting him through the test trials, he well exceeded my expectations. It's almost as if I should have leveraged the one thing that I have over most that are starting from zero all along. We shook hands and got to work on making this love child, and after a few months and hundreds of dollars later, we had all types of amazing looking model sheets ready to go. Cool. Now what? Oh, right, this is all for the Fiverr modeler. I hand off the character sheet to the modeler, but I also find someone on a 3D modeling site to get a second opinion. Vipkis, who made this gorgeous Zelda model, is showing a lot of talent, so my expectations are really high. Oh, and I also didn't give them Jinzo because he's the main character, and I wanted these modelers to earn my trust before handing over such an important design to me, so they got the character Otter instead. And now, whoever has the best 3D model gets the contract. All right. So the Fiverr results are in. Let's check out what we got here. Oh no. Oh no. Man, it looks like our boy Otter has had a rough night out. The hair isn't faithful, the face looks a little funky, and he's a bit of a chunky boy. Now, I don't have anything, there's nothing wrong with chunky boys, okay? It's just that Otter's character, specifically for this story, he's supposed to be like a super physically fit person. So, yeah, this just isn't gonna do. Oh man, but now I'm so afraid because that's already one of two models that are like, it's not usable, and we spent so much time. Come on, Vipkis, please. Vipkis, please. And not too much time after this, Vipkis turned in his model. Wow, holy shit, I can barely tell that this is 3D. Yo, Vipkis did his thing. Alright, so this is the part of the story where you expect things to turn around, right? Me, Jabrils, and Vipkis against the world trying to make my YouTube exit plan come true. Well, have you already forgot the video that you clicked on? You see, even though Jabrils and Vipkis make a nasty combo, it unfortunately took Vipkis almost 2 months to complete this. But I'm placing no blame on him. I can't afford to pay him salary, so you do what you gotta do, alright? But in that time, I befriended another artist by the name of Doll, and Doll makes some silky smooth models that I love to look at. And so I paid him to model the main character Jinzo, you know, to multitask and speed things up a bit. And when Doll turned in his model of Jinzo, man, it was looking super tight. And I was finally ready to get started on making episode 1, but that, my friends, is when everything fell apart. When I started to put all the models that I've bought for the show into a single scene, it looked less cohesive than one of those sticky hand toys after a couple of uses. Together, they all looked mega jank. How I didn't realize that not everyone has the same 3D modeling style, I don't know. Alright, look. I didn't see this coming, unfortunately. This is where I'm throwing in the towel. I'm done. I'm over it. I can't keep doing this. It's been a good run, but it's over. I then paid 7 modelers to try and make these models all look the same. No, I'm just kidding, alright, I'm kidding. Following this, I was about $4,000 in the hole, and finally, I was able to break the sunken cost fallacy spell. So, is this it? Am I now gonna make a drama channel to try and keep this YouTube dream alive? No, remember, there's a big brain in there. After talking to some friends who run some very successful animation channels, I've realized that I am putting way too much importance on graphics. You, the viewer, don't care to see something Disney polished. You just want to see something cool that makes you feel something. So I've gone way back to the beginning. You remember this very first model from the beginning that I said was just way too low quality to use for an animated series? Well, I'm now using my own 2 hands to modify this to be better suited for 3D animation. And in truth, I've always loved the feel of this model. I'm also building 3D environments, doing some test shots, making props, you name it. I'm now just using the skill that I've learned over the years to just ship something. anything, and it's been amazingly fun. I've made more progress in the past month doing this than I have in the past 2 years. So go subscribe to the YouTube channel for my animated series, link is in the description, and stay tuned for when episode 1 drops in 2,000 years. And so what is the moral of this story, you ask? Well, I basically spent $4,000 to learn a very expensive mistake when I could have just easily pitched this to my friends and they all could have told me that this was a really bad idea. That's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, wash your face. Thank you and good night.